Hey everyone, my name is Kyle Cummings, and I'm on the product marketing team here at Facebook. I'm joined by Lee Kamita, who's on our marketing team. Thank you so much for joining today's Blueprint webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about all things video and creative across the Facebook family of apps and services. But before we get started, a few housekeeping things. We'll have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar that Lee's going to lead. If you have any questions during the webinar, feel free to send them in via the questions window right there on the GoToWebinar control panel on your screen. We will then try to respond during the Q&A period. This webinar is recorded and you'll be able to view it again or share it with your colleagues on the Blueprint website in just a few days. All right, so let's get started. Back in May 2016, we released our creative considerations for mobile feed video. Since then, we've launched upgrades to feed video, including our announcement of sound and news feed, and developed a robust set of new video experiences and formats outside of feed. While video across our apps and services continues to evolve and expand, we believe the same four key areas of focus from our creative considerations for mobile feed are still critical for success today. Our hope is to provide additional guidance and research to these creative considerations that allows your team to maximize your impact when running campaigns across Facebook, Instagram, and Audience Network. But taking a step back and really looking at the last 60 plus years, we're living in a world where the video watching experience has been very consistent. Whether you're watching TV or you're in a cinema, or you're on your desktop computer. The TVs and cinema brought together a standard horizontal frame, and desktop followed suit. People immersed in video in a linear fashion during very predictable watch times throughout the day. For advertisers, this also meant consistency, which has really helped advertisers scale their work from creative to media. In the US, the linear in-stream model allowed for standard ad lengths at 15, 30, and 60-second slots, and the standardized horizontal screen allowed for consistent framing through the storyboarding process. Beyond those standards, sound was almost always assumed to be on. In addition to production, advertisers were granted a format for delivering a message as a sequential gate to entertainment consumption, where a consumer was forced to watch ads in exchange for that content and experience. But in 2017, an increasing amount of video is being watched on this device. The rules have changed for everyone. People are choosing to watch video with and without sound, and they're watching it all how they're capturing and sharing the content themselves, and that's vertically. Beyond the disruption of orientation and sound on a mobile device, video is no longer only linear. Taking a deeper look at this, our FBIQ and Creative Shop teams have outlined evolving elements of mobile video in a recent white paper titled Why Creative Matters in the Age of Mobile. I definitely recommend checking it out. It's a great read. Throughout the research, we've found that mobile is three things. Mobile is customizable. While people are spending more and more time on mobile, their phone often being the first thing they look at in the morning and the last thing they check at night. According to ComScore, 3 out of 4 smartphone users choose to customize their apps on their home screen, which tells us how personal these devices have become and how ingrained they are within our day-to-day. The second is frequent. Our mobile devices are always within reach, making it easy to open up an app whenever we have just a couple seconds to ourselves. Research shows that almost half of all US adults say they check their phone at least 30 times per day. This frequency creates a wide range of touch points that advertisers have with people on our platforms. And the third is fast. And as people spend more time with their phones and these apps and services, people can look at the content and process that content faster on a mobile device than even on a desktop computer, recalling content after only seeing it for a quarter of a second. To understand how this factors into overall consumption patterns, we've seen 41% faster content consumption on mobile than on desktop. Just think about how you read a magazine or watch a TV show. How you experience each type of content is probably similar in that it is linear. You probably read a magazine article from headline to conclusion, and you probably watch a TV show from opening to closing credits. But mobile phones have disrupted this common linear content experience by creating a space for curation where each consumer sits in the driver's seat. People enter and exit apps without a second of thought, looking at a piece of content for seconds before moving on, but also easily returning to content that caught their eye during an earlier session. Mobile lends itself to an on-demand approach, as people control what they consume based on where they are and what they want to in a given moment. The consumer being in control, as opposed to the content maker, has led us from a world of linear consumption to nonlinear consumption. And platforms that are mobile first mimic that nonlinear consumption style, with feed-based environments inviting people to move back and forth through content as they please. And that's exactly what people do. And largely, this means we have growing categories of mobile consumption, largely depending on where they are in their day. The majorities of sessions in short, dynamic bites throughout the day, and increasingly in large sit-back sessions. We see short on-the-go consumption representing nearly 2/3 of all videos watched on smartphones globally. This is classified as the total amount of videos watched on a mobile device that were less than 10 minutes in length. But as Facebook has been one of the key drivers behind the growth of short, on-the-go mobile video, we're also seeing the new mobile video evolution. When looking at mobile video, these same studies find that 1/3 of these videos are 10 minutes or more in length. Even though people are drawn to these videos on a phone, we can assume much of this watch time happens in a planned, lean-back environment. We believe the shift to video is bigger than the shift to mobile. And at Facebook, we have taken a video-first approach to building more immersive and playful experiences for people and publishers across our apps and services. For instance, with over 1 billion people on Messenger, we wanted to make their experience faster, simpler, and more fun. Messenger Camera is just one tap away to send videos with unique art and filters. And videos in feed have also changed. You have probably started seeing more vertical videos in your Facebook and Instagram feed as we unlocked this change just late last year. We also introduced Instagram Stories in August of 2016. And now we have over 200 million people using Instagram Stories every day. People are gravitating towards ephemeral content that shares the moments throughout your day and disappears after 24 hours. And finally, Live. We introduced Live last year, and we've been blown away by the uptick. Just this New Year's Eve in 2016, we saw our biggest live moment ever, with more people going live on that day than at any other time since we launched the product. Similar to how we've been leveraging videos across our consumer experiences, we have invested in video advertising products to match those new environments. We've upgraded our feed video offering, such as unlocking more support of vertical video ads on Facebook and Instagram, and also adding new features like sound on and newsfeed. But we've also added new experiences that aren't mobile feed as well, like Audience Network, InStream on Facebook, and ads and Instagram stories. You can learn more information on each of these in the Help Center or in the Blueprint Online Learning. And with the changes that are happening to how people consume video, and knowing how Facebook is upgrading our experiences and adding new products to match the evolving environment, it's natural to want to understand our updated guidance to advertisers on how to create videos for our platforms that match consumption. Throughout this portion of the presentation, we'll discuss our recommendation in context of our original creative considerations. In fact, last year we introduced 4 key pillars of our creative considerations for mobile feed video ads. They were capture attention quickly, design for sound off, frame your visual story, and play more. Even as feed continues to become more engaging and more immersive through the changes we just discussed, and as we introduce new formats and placements outside of feed, our original recommendations still remain as important as the day we release them. We want to build on these considerations and provide more learnings and components that will help guide you to maximizing every connection you make with people through ads. So let's take a look at the first one, capture attention quickly. Across all mediums, but especially on mobile, people make fast decisions around what content they want to engage with. Capturing people's attention from the first seconds is key to keeping their attention to communicate your message. Starting with our first pillar, we know that from last year, the faster you capture attention in a video ad, the better, especially in a feed environment. We've challenged advertisers to start with your most captivating elements. Hook people with your most engaging content. Choose attention-grabbing video thumbnails. Begin with stunning shots of your products and vivid backgrounds. Put your hero front and center. That simply means if you have a celebrity, recognizable character, or beloved brand, let people know that right away. We recommend adding interesting, provocative, or surprising post copy to complement the ad. But it's critical to match this type of consumer consumption behavior with our advertising creative to maximize impact on a mobile phone. And we've seen advertisers succeed by consolidating their message to 15 seconds or less. Let's talk a little bit about why this strategy sets our partners up for success within the larger context of video solutions. Overall, we know that people are coming to our platforms all throughout the day, spending time with video across a range of session types. In a world where people are consuming content quick, and as referenced in our FBIQ research, we as advertisers must challenge ourselves to match that consumption. Although we know impact is made early, specifically on a mobile phone and with feed environments, we also know that brand advertisers care about delivering a completed message. By matching consumption, we'll also build confidence in our ability to drive more completed messages. And earlier this year, we launched 2 new ad placements to complement new types of video watching across our platforms, Facebook InStream and Instagram Stories. Both of these placements come with length requirements. Instagram Stories, which accepts 3 to 15 second units, and Facebook InStream, which includes 15 to 15 second units. By building within this world of 15 seconds or less, you can maximize distribution across all placements within the Facebook family of apps and services. Now, taking a step back, we've seen examples that follow this creative recommendation within the larger strategy of capturing attention quickly. We will continue to work with partners to understand lengths that fit for mobile, and we know there will continue to be a host of great ads at all lengths, even some that are longer than 15 seconds. We recommend using placements like Audience Network InStream to drive home longer, more complex video messages. And moving on to our next pillar, build for sound off. Historically, videos in newsfeed have played silently by default. You actually have to tap on a video to hear sound. This is why we established such a strong set of recommendations and solutions for building within a sound off environment. Knowing that most people consume video content in mobile feed without sound, we've asked you to design your video to communicate clearly in this environment. Think about the person watching video in line in a busy coffee shop. They aren't likely to watch video with sound on. And even if they did turn sound on, it would be hard to hear. As people watch more videos on mobile devices, they've come to expect a sound on experience when the volume on their mobile device is turned on. We've run tests in multiple countries to understand whether people enjoy a default sound on experience in newsfeed. With this new experience, sound fades in and out as they scroll through videos in newsfeed. bringing those videos to life. We know that an effective message can still be conveyed in feed videos without sound. And there are situations where people will continue to watch with no sound, such as when they're in that public place. That's why we recommend that you build videos that are comprehensible without sound, but also add value when there is sound. Early data from the countries that we're testing this experience in show that 70% of video watch time, including ads, is with sound on. The majority of people we surveyed felt positive about the experience, and we've seen increases in watch time and sharing when sound on was in fact introduced. So diving into this a little bit more tactically, when building for sound off but delighting with sound on, we think about some ways to make that actionable. Sight and motion are the foundation of feed. Try to tell your story visually in your videos. Text and graphics make your message easier to understand in a sound-off environment, so be sure to include them. Try utilizing captions either through our auto captioning tools or directly by uploading a SRT file to your creative. In the event that people are watching your video with sound, make sure that a sound file is added so you can delight them with audio. And moving to our third pillar, frame your visual story. In the original creative considerations, we gave 2 areas to explore when thinking about framing your visual story. We spoke about the importance of highlighting key elements, making sure that your product or the value of your brand was front and center. There's value in creative visual surprises. Even within a small frame, what optical illusions or unexpected events can you create? Beyond these 2 components, we're adding another guidance, which is build vertical videos for mobile, those that match the consumption we discussed earlier. As we discussed earlier, most people view on mobile by holding their phone vertically, which means that when you place a 16:9 horizontal video in feed, it doesn't maximize the screen real estate. By producing your video taller and moving to a 1:1 ratio, or even a 9:16 vertical ratio, you can make the most of the screen orientation on every impression. Here you can see this represented across 3 creatives, which were actually included in a recent test to understand the impact vertical orientation has on your advertising objectives. In this test, we found that vertical videos yield in results. We worked with 10 brand advertisers in North America, Latin America, and Europe to test the impact that vertical ads have against horizontal and square. 7 of the 10 tests showed that vertical video ads drove an incremental increase in brand lift, including a 3 to 9 point increase in ad recall when comparing vertical to horizontal. We recognize the challenge of building vertical video and maximizing business outcomes by distributing across Facebook, Instagram, and Audience Network. Given the platform-specific creative eligibility specs, we recommend 4x5 vertical video ads when running media across Facebook and Instagram. Looking further, across video ads on and off our platform, for brand campaigns, we recommend square 1x1 video ads when running across Facebook, Instagram, and Audience Network. Diving into our last pillar of creative considerations, the idea of playing more, almost an attitude for creative production on mobile. There's no one-size-fits-all solution for mobile, and it's important to find what works within your target audiences. Because of that, we've recommended experiment to learn. From different videos to fresh copy approaches, the number of things you can test in your ads is almost limitless. Experimenting is part of the process to create inventive ideas. Second, be as short as you can be, but as long as it needs to be. Think about length. Knowing that people move through content quickly, but are willing to spend time with video that connects with them. Attention is a gift. So tell your story as quickly as you can while still getting your key messages across. Strategy matters. If you are reminding people of a message, then you may need less time. If you're introducing a new product or building brand affinity, you may need more time. Remember, on a mobile device, there is still so much you can do within 15 seconds or less. Challenge yourself to match consumer attention and unlock eligibility across placements. Push the boundaries. New forms of video offer creative ways to capture attention, like Facebook's Canvas, a mobile-first ad unit that helps you serve fast-loading, full-screen experiences in newsfeed. But looking forward, in November, we rolled out a tool called the Creative Hub, which should help you take those experiments and preview them on mobile across all devices. We'll dive into more benefits of this tool in just a bit. So tabling Creative Hub for a minute and thinking very tactically. At different times, advertisers need different attention depending on their objective, just like we discussed above. When you have simple messages that require a shorter amount of attention, we have a variety of products. And when you've been investing heavily in, we have been investing heavily in expanding our formats and placements that are built to deliver a more complex message that requires longer attention. And in the spirit of play more, we encourage advertisers to test and learn how to match formats, placements, and tactics to consumption, which will maximize results. We've seen success when testing and experimenting with different cuts of video assets to figure out quickly what's working for their business objectives. Beyond placements and tactics, we want to continue to provide advertisers with tools to increase their ability to develop built for mobile creative. Our Creative Hub hopes to provide a faster, easier way to produce ideas that capture attention on mobile. The Creative Hub itself has 4 pillars of features that allow you to play more, inspire, and collaborate. First, the Inspiration Gallery, which features the creative challenge and solution of some of the best examples of creativity across the Facebook family, which you are able to sort by ad format type like video or Canvas and share to colleagues or clients, as well as sending to your own personal mobile phone so that you can see how the work is and how it appears where it will be seen. The second is the ad format section, which allows you to learn more and explore the possible creative spaces on Facebook and Instagram, from static images to video to interactive formats like Canvas. The in-browser mockup tool enables you to use your own assets to build up a mockup to review your work for your ad formats. And finally, you can share your mockups with your colleagues or clients, so for review, as well as send them to your mobile Facebook or Instagram app in order to see your ideas come to life in the palm of your hand. Now let's take a look at campaigns that are driving success that match our creative recommendations highlighted today. The first is one I love. Mountain Dew recently partnered with us to leverage vertical video assets. Here on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see how the beverage company was able to develop built-for-mobile feed creative for their drone hunting campaign, which drove significant brand lift specific to ad recall and favorability. The second, Airbnb, which consistently follows our creative considerations, the online community travel marketplace used Instagram video carousel ads that were less than 15 seconds as a part of its Live There campaign. These short videos displayed the unique and local experience Airbnb can offer travelers. And with this strategy, they saw a 4-point lift in purchase intent in India and the UK, and a 6-point lift in purchase intent in Germany and Australia. And third, Panera Bread. Panera Bread exemplifies play more and capture attention quickly. They recently used short videos with text motion graphics across Facebook and Instagram to inform parents about its clean Panera's kid menu. For this campaign, the North American cafe chain drove a 15-point lift in ad recall and a 12-point lift in message association. And now that we've finished success stories, let's take a step back and talk about what we'd love to see you guys think about when it comes to this Blueprint webinar. specifically our key takeaways for creative considerations. Now that we've taken a deeper look at each of the 4 pillars, we've involved our considerations to these refined pillars for mobile video production. The first of which is capture attention quickly and consider consolidating your message to 15 seconds or less. Design for sound off, but delight with sound on. Frame your story visually and build for vertical. Play more and test creatives with Creative Hub. Moving forward, ask yourself, does the film capture attention and deliver a full message within 15 seconds or less? Is the core message clear with and without sound? Is the asset framed for mobile feed as a vertical ratio? And have you tested and previewed your work with Creative Hub? And with that, I'm going to be passing over to Lee, who will run the Q&A portion of this webinar. But before we get there, we wanted to let you know a few things. There will be a post-webinar survey coming your way, and we hope you'll fill that out. A recording of this webinar will be posted on Facebook's Blueprint Learning Center. And lastly, follow our Facebook for Business blog for more updates, and please be on the lookout of our next series of webinars to help you grow your business on Facebook, Instagram, and Audience Network. So thanks for letting me talk, and from here, I'm going to turn it over to Lee for the Q&A.